on Hawaiian punch. Oh, you like all this gush? Oh no, you can't get enough. Sipping on Hawaiian punch.
Hey, my name is Adeline Warren, and you're listening to Girl Talk. I like to say that I'm the big sister of the internet. You can watch me fuck up all you want, but hey, maybe we can learn something from it. I hope you enjoy. Hey bitch, how you doing? I hope that you're doing well. It's a Tuesday night. I'm so bored out of my mind. As you guys know, I'm living alone, and I feel like every single day is just like me trying to keep myself busy, and like honestly me just like trying to make friends because I literally have no friends right now. I just got a FaceTime with Andre, which was really nice because I haven't talked to him in a hot minute. But today I kind of wanted to talk to you about long distance relationships. As you guys know, I feel like I'm just like, so nobody knows what the fuck is going on with my life. Like, they're like, Adeline, like, bitch, are you in a relationship? Are you not? Like, what the fuck is going on? You post your boyfriend with blah, blah, blah. I am in a relationship and I have a boyfriend. I posted him before and we keep it private but not a secret, which is just my favorite because I feel like when you let too many people in, you just leave so much room for people to judge you, for people to put their 2 cents in, for people to say, oh, this, oh, this, oh, this. When you showed him at 0.5 seconds, like the way that his body language is looking at you, like girl, I'm like fucking traumatized from like past like public relationships. And it can be on like a influencer scale, whatever, and it could also be on just like a normal scale, because I've literally talked to my friends who don't do social media and they're like, yes, I literally believe you. Like, people put an evil eye on your fucking relationship and they put it like bad energy out, and they could say, oh, like Joshua is talking to this girl like at this club, like blah, blah, it's trying to stir up. I don't know what it is, but I just would prefer that they're not in my business. So that's why I've been in a private but not a secret relationship. Whether you're searching for the latest sneaker drop, that iconic handbag, a timeless watch, or your next piece of classic jewelry, eBay authenticators are there verifying every detail of your purchase. eBay's authenticators are experts in their craft, true connoisseurs, and as leaders in their fields, they're making sure your items always arrive as authentic as your style. In a world full of fakes, it's time to get real with eBay Authenticity Guarantee. Everyone deserves real. Visit ebay.com for terms. This episode is sponsored by Adam and Eve. Trust me, you can always bring more pleasure and satisfaction into the bedroom, so why not do it with Adam and Eve? And right now, they're offering Girl Talk listeners 50% off just about any item with free shipping and rush processing included when you use the code GIRLTALK. To get this offer, just go to adamandeve.com and enter the code GIRLTALK at checkout for 50% off your item, free shipping, and rush processing. Don't wait. Better sex is just a click away. But talking about long distance today, if you would have asked me like 5 years ago and you were like, Adeline, would you ever do long distance? I would have been like, fuck no. I am 25 years young. I can live my fucking life. I could do whatever the fuck I want and blah, 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 blah. That's when I was like in my man-eater era. If you ever saw me with blonde hair, I'm so sorry for whatever content you've consumed of me with blonde fucking hair. I'm sorry. That was a bad era. We're over it now. But I think I've just come into a point in my life where I'm like really happy with myself, and I found someone that's also really happy with themselves, and I feel like they make me a better version of me, and I hope that I make them a better version of them. And I'm really happy right now, and yeah, I don't know. So yeah, 5 years ago, if you would have asked me, Adeline, would you ever be in a long distance relationship? I'd be like, fuck no. But now, today, here we are. I'm living in Paris and my partner is literally halfway across the fucking world. In Blue's TikTok, I said, we're moving across the country. And then I realized, I'm like, bitch, I'm not moving across the country. Moving across the country is like moving from like California to New York. Like, that's across the country. We're literally moving across the entire fucking world. The time zone's like 6 to 9 hours apart from Toronto and LA. So I don't know. It's kind of tough to not only keep up with my friends, but to also keep up with my partner. But we're doing long distance right now. And I feel like me and my partner are really good at communicating. I think in my opinion, at least from like compared to other relationships that I've had in the past. And people are always like, oh, like, are you ever scared that like they're going to meet someone else? Or like, are you going to meet like a new French boyfriend here? Like, blah, 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 blah. And I'm like, girl, like, I don't know. For me, I feel really confident in my relationship. And there's like things that we've communicated and talked about and like set boundaries about. So I just feel safe. And I feel in any healthy relationship, that's just what you should feel. I used to think that, oh, I love the fuck boys. Like the fuck boys are so fun. Like they take you on a ride of all the high highs and all the low lows. Like, oh, the dick is so good, whatever. But I think over the past couple of years, I've realized that it wasn't healthy. If anything, it was really toxic. And as much as I'm like, I love the toxic, it's just not really sustainable. I feel like every toxic relationship that I've ever had lasted about like 1 month and like that's it. Let me know if you're the same. Like every toxic relationship, situationship especially, 1 to 3 months, it fucks you up for a good amount of time. It fucked me up for at least a year. Why is it like that? Why is it always the toxic situationships that last like 1 to 3 months fuck you up longer than like relationships that have lasted years? I don't know why. But that's what I used to think relationships were. They were just like really high highs and really low lows. And I think that I thought love was like that because I guess that's also what I've seen with my family and things that I grew up with seeing with like my mom and my dad. I used to never say this because my parents like to keep their relationship private, but they're not together. And they were very toxic. I'm sorry, Mom, if you're watching this, but you were. So I think that's just what I thought love was. I thought love was like really high highs and really low lows. And like sometimes love is good and sometimes love is bad. And sometimes love, it really just doesn't feel like love. And you're like fighting and there's really low lows and you feel like you hate each other. And then there's times that you feel really high highs and like they're kind of like sprinkling little like, what is it called? Crumbs? Crumbing? Is that what the term is? I don't know. Therapists say. So I think that's what I thought love was. But the love that I feel like I'm in right now is just very calm and it feels very safe, and I don't feel like I have to worry. Like I feel like in past relationships I was like, oh, like, you know, we're doing long distance, like should we be in an open relationship? Like if we're not in an open relationship, like are they going to cheat on me? Like and like we talk about that, and then it's like triggering for some people, and then it like causes fights, and like again it's like the high highs and the low lows. But I feel like right now I feel very good. And I don't know if it's just me like being in love and being naive, but I don't know. I don't feel the high highs and I don't feel the low lows, and I feel very just comfortable, and I feel very just safe and happy. I don't know. I think that's my long answer that I would give to someone that's like, are you ever scared that they're going to leave you for someone else? I don't know. Because I think for me, the thing that is the most important in a relationship is finding someone that is secure within themselves, and someone that is happy with themselves, and someone that likes themselves. And the reason why this is so important for me is because insecure people cheat. Like insecure people get validation from others and they get outside validation. That's why they cheat, because that's how they make themselves feel better. I don't know. So having someone that's really secure within themselves and having someone that genuinely likes themselves and that is content with themselves is really important to me, because I feel like that's what I am. I feel like I'm confident and I like myself, and I definitely, I mean, I'm not even gonna lie, I like definitely have like moments of insecurity. Like the other day I was literally crying because I felt so fucking lonely, but at the end of the day, my very core and in my heart and my soul, I like who I am. I don't hate myself. I really like myself, and I really feel like the person that I'm dating really does like themselves, because I feel like I have dated people and it's almost like, I don't know if this is like mean for me to say, but they say little comments that you're insecure, you know? Like, it's, oh my God, especially if someone's like, what's your body count? Or if someone is like, oh, I can't believe that I bagged you. Or like, oh my God, my friends can't believe that I bagged you. Or I don't know. It's just comments like that, you know what I mean? It's like you hear it and you're like, that made me feel a little icky. Or I don't know. It makes me feel a little weird when they say weird comments like that. Or even I used to get comments from like old partners being like, oh, look at you, like you're buying like Chanel shoes, like I can't believe you, like you've changed, like you're so bougie now, like you're so different now. Like people would literally say that shit to me. And I don't know, I think I'm just like the type of person where I'm too nice and I like let it slide. But looking back at it now, like that was actually like, that was really rude, because before, I mean, now I'm a material girl. I love all my bags. I love all my shoes. But before, I, would work really hard. There were times where I would vlog every day. I would daily vlog. I would edit my own videos. I would do brand deals. I would manage my emails. I would have calls with my manager. And like, of course, it's all fun work, but I would work really hard and I would never treat myself. So the one time that I did, like, was thinking of treating myself, I didn't even buy it because I felt so bad. I was looking at the Chanel shoes. I remember this so vividly. They were like white Chanel shoes. And they, I don't know what, they were like the classic ones, not the ones that I have right now. They're like the new ones, but I remember it was back in the day, the white Chanel shoes, and Kylie Jenner had them. And I was thinking of buying them. It's like one of my biggest purchases I would have ever had. I think it was like $1,000. And I was looking at it on the website and I was like, do you like these? I really want to buy it. Like, I don't know. I never buy designer things. I'm kind of nervous. Like, are they cute? I don't know. And they go up to me and they're like, I can't believe you would want that. Like, listen to yourself. Like, you're so full of yourself. Like, I can't believe you would want shoes like that. Like, you've changed so much. Like, you're not like, they would say shit like that. I don't know. I think looking back now, I can recognize that that person was very insecure within themselves. And it was genuinely just to treat myself. Like, I don't know. I think it's very important to treat yourself, especially if you've been working really hard, whether you just graduated, university. Like my sister just graduated university and I know she never treats herself. She's always working. So that's why I flew her out to LA to be like, congrats, you like finished your last exam. Like you got a job. Like this is so amazing. And I don't know, I felt like before, and when I was like in the very early stages of working with my life coach, she'd be like, okay, you did all of these amazing accomplishments, but did you like celebrate it? Like, this is like a really big thing. Have you celebrated it at all? And I'd be like, no, like, I don't know. I don't really feel like I deserve it. Like, I don't need to celebrate it. Like, I just need to keep working. I need to keep making money. I need to keep doing this. I need to keep doing this. She's like, well, Adeline, this is how you become burnt out. It's like you're taking on all of these tasks and you're taking on all these roles, and you're going to school and you're doing this and you're doing this, and it's just work. If you're not celebrating yourself and you're not congratulating yourself, you're going to get burnt out. And I was like, wait, maybe she actually is kind of right. So that's when I started like really, whenever I do a big accomplishment, like for example, moving to Paris, it was very stressful. I like treated myself and I went to Chanel and I got myself like a good pair of shoes. I don't know. Sometimes I feel like maybe I shop a little bit too much, but I think it's a balance, But yeah, being a secure person, I think, is a very important thing for me in a relationship. And I feel like this person is. And we've had lots of like deep conversations just about life. And of course, everybody has bad days. I'm not saying that they're like this perfect person and they like never are insecure. Like we both get insecure and I'm like, I feel so chubby and I feel fat. And he's like, I know. Well, we can work out and we can get a gym membership together and we can do this together. Like we're a team. And I don't know. There's moments where I feel like we both get insecure, but I think at our core and in our souls, we're really secure people. So I feel really confident with that. I feel like something else that's very important in a long distance relationship is setting boundaries, because I don't know if I've ever said this online before, but I have been in an open relationship and I actually really liked it. Like it was very liberating. And I know a lot of people, because I've talked to my friends about this, they're like, oh, Adeline, I could never do that. I could never be in an open relationship. I get too jealous. Like, I could never do that. And I'm like, of course. If you don't like it, you don't have to do it. I'm not forcing you, putting a gun up to your head and be in an open relationship. I'm saying with, like, I'm not telling you to be gay. I'm not telling you to be straight. I'm just saying what works for me. So I've been in an open relationship before, and we've set boundaries. I feel like that's like the main thing with open relationships, is really setting boundaries. Like, oh, like, what are you allowed to do? Like, do you cuddle after? Are they allowed to sleep over? Are they allowed to have your number? Is it a one-time thing? Are they allowed to come over multiple times? Like, an open relationship is different for every person. So I've been in an open relationship before, and I honestly was really happy with it. Right now I'm not, but I don't know, I feel really good with my sexual life, I would say. I feel like I got it out of my system. I went to Bora Bora. I was able to get it all out. I can't believe I'm fucking putting this on the fucking internet. I got it all out. I got it out of my system. I feel really good. I have my womanizer in my nightstand right here. I put it in the same drawer as I put my fucking microphone, but don't worry, I put it in a Ziploc bag. Don't worry, girl. She's so clean.
Whether you're searching for the latest sneaker drop, that iconic handbag, a timeless watch, or your next piece of classic jewelry, eBay authenticators are there verifying every detail of your purchase. eBay's authenticators are experts in their craft, true connoisseurs, and as leaders in their fields, they're making sure your items always arrive as authentic as your style and never get faked over ever again. In a world full of fakes, it's time to get real with eBay Authenticity Guarantee. Everyone deserves real. Visit ebay.com for terms.
This episode is sponsored by Adam and Eve. Adam and Eve is your one-stop shop for anything that you've ever needed in the bedroom. And right now, they're offering Girl Talk listeners 50% off just about any item, with free shipping and rush processing included when you use the code GIRLTALK. So you can get down to business as soon as possible. Trust me, you can always bring more pleasure and satisfaction into the bedroom, so why not do it with Adam and Eve? And don't worry, whatever you buy will be shipped discreetly, so no one will ever guess what's inside. I talk about this a little bit in today's episode, but I needed my toy to come with me to Paris. It is a necessity. It's something that I forgot to pack, and it was so embarrassing when I realized, oh shit, I should probably pack that. I packed it, but it is a must-have for travel, whether you're moving or spending time away from your partner, your boyfriend, your girlfriend, whoever it is. You need that toy. Just for your own sanity. Ain't no shame in my game too, girl. To get this offer, just go to adamandeve.com and enter the code GIRLTALK at checkout for 50% off your item, free shipping, and rush processing. Don't wait. Better sex is just a click away. But I have my womanizer, and they're going to come visit me like every month. And I don't know, I think ideally, if we're in the same city, I feel like I'm really happy in a relationship if we have sex. I would say like at least like once or twice, or at least at the very bare minimum once a week, I think. But I think right now I'm at a point where, when you're just so fucking busy that like you don't even have the time to be horny. Does that make sense? Like, I swear there's times where I'm so busy, like especially right now with just like moving and like trying to make friends and like trying to put myself out there and trying to make vlogs and trying to record and even like filming podcasts and stuff like that. I'm like, I don't even know if I was single, I don't even know if I would have time to like be meeting up with people and going on dates and like hooking up with people, because hooking up with people is like it's a lot of effort. And I didn't realize this until I got into a relationship. I was like, I have so much fucking time. Do you ever realize that? I feel like I have three me's. There's like the me that's in a relationship, and I would say that I put like a good amount of time. I would say I put like, you FaceTime them, you see them maybe like on the weekends, and that's like a good amount of time for a relationship. I feel like when I'm single and horny, I put so much fucking time into it. I'm like on the dating apps, I'm messaging people, I'm like, DMing people, I'm like, going on dates, and like sometimes the dates are bad. So that was just like a whole waste of a night. Sometimes I'm going on dates multiple times a week, and it just like, I don't know, it takes up a lot of time. And then there's times where I'm just like single and I don't give a flying fuck, and I'm just like using my womanizer. And I feel like I'm in obviously the relationship part where I'm like, it's like talking to like your friends, like keeping updated with your friends, and even just going on dates and stuff like that, which leads me to my next thing, which I feel like is also very important, because at least for me, my love language is physical touch and quality time. And I obviously can't get physical touch right now, but there are things that you could do in a long distance relationship that has physical touch. But I feel like another thing that we've been doing that honestly means a lot to me is he will schedule like virtual dates, scheduling dates. And I've never done this in any relationships before, but I feel like it makes the biggest fucking difference. So I don't know. For me, at least, my love language is quality time and physical touch. So I love quality time and spending time with someone. And obviously, it gets really hard when you're doing long distance. So something that means a lot to me is being able to FaceTime and order Uber Eats for each other. It's literally my favorite thing to do when you're doing a long distance relationship is just FaceTiming. And you can do like themed nights. You could do like Taco Tuesday. You could do like Italian. You could do like Mexican, like any type of food that you want, and have dinner together. And you can even order from like the same restaurant and pretend that you're there together and just be on FaceTime and talk about your day. And my boyfriend will literally send me a fucking Google Calendar invite, which I also just love acts of service. That's, I would say, honestly, is my number one, actually. But he'll send like a Google Calendar invite, and like we have the times lined up because like the time zones are different. Because I don't know, for me, I love planning. I fucking love Google Calendar. I love planning shit. You guys know my fucking notes app is insane. So when someone does that for me, it means a lot to me. So he sends a Google Calendar invite, and we have a little FaceTime date, and you're not allowed to like, when you're on FaceTime and you kind of like, you go on different apps and you're like kind of on silent or, whatever. For me, I just want to like have 100% of your attention and just like be on FaceTime and eat food and talk about your day and like genuinely pretend that you're like at a restaurant. I don't know. Things like that mean a lot to me. So I feel like that has also made the biggest difference, because I don't know. I feel like when you do long distance, especially if it's for a long time, I don't know, you can kind of forget how happy this person makes you. And it's hard to show your type of love language when you're so far away. And I feel like creative things like this really makes a difference. And even if it's just like ordering something on Amazon for them, even if it's like $5, because I don't know, I used to order flowers, like flower arrangements or like edible arrangements for my mom and my sister, but shit adds up. Like, have you guys noticed since the pandemic, flower arrangements and like chocolate covered strawberries are fucking expensive? I'm like, at that point, I would rather just order you a shit ton of shit on Amazon. I don't know. And like, do the Amazon gift thing where you have like a little card and stuff like that. It's so much cheaper. And I feel like it's better because you eat the chocolate covered strawberries in like 5 minutes. And you go to the store and chocolate covered strawberries are like $10-15. Or you go to the flower store and flower arrangements, well, the cheap ones are like $10-15, you know what I mean? So I'm like, fuck, shit's a ripoff. I like to do Amazon gifts because it's just cheap and it's free delivery. And it normally comes in like 2 days. So that was quality time. That was gifts. Acts of service, I love just when they really just plan shit out. When you send the Google Calendar invites and you plan the dates, that's really important to me. Physical touch. There are actually, I don't know if you guys have seen, Adam and Eve has been sponsoring my podcast a lot recently. I'm like, hey, come on, Adam and Eve. But there are sex toys where you can control a vibrator from your phone or from a remote or from something. So that could also be like a fun physical touch type of thing. Even just FaceTime sex. Honestly, I don't want to sound boring when I say this, but I don't love FaceTime sex. I don't know what it is. Like, it's just like, I would rather just watch a video and do it in the comfort of my own. I don't know. I think it's also because I have a little bit of, I wouldn't say trauma, but I would definitely say that I grew up in a Christian household, and I was like, they tell you that masturbating is so bad. So when I would masturbate when I was younger, I would like feel so ashamed after, and I would be like, oh my God, like I'm gonna have such, like, this is how my brain would work when I was younger. I would masturbate, and then the next day something bad would happen to me, and I'd be like, oh my God, it's because I masturbated, and like God is punishing me, and like, well, whatever, like shit fucks you up when you're like, you grow up Christian. So I don't know. I feel weird doing, I don't know, FaceTime sex. I'm perfectly fine like in person. Like I will play with myself in person, but never ever on I don't know, when I'm by myself. I don't know. Something about it makes me feel weird. My fucking childhood growing up like that, but whatever. But that's another one. What's the last love language? There's 5 of them. Oh, words of affirmation. Words of affirmation, I think, is very similar to going on the dates and going on the FaceTime dates, and even just telling your partner that you're proud of them. Like my partner just had like a really big accomplishment, and I was like, I'm just wanted to say that I'm so proud of you, and I know that you worked really hard for it, and you need to treat yourself. You need to sleep in tomorrow, like get some rest because you've been working really hard. And I don't know. I feel like little texts like that, and even just like words like that, because I also feel like I struggled with words of affirmation a lot, even with my friends. I don't know. I feel like I didn't grow up with a lot of words of affirmation. And if I don't know, if you guys have an Asian mom, you just like, sorry, mom. I feel like, I hope my mom isn't listening to this. If you have Asian parents aren't very affectionate. Like they won't tell you, oh, this is a good job, like blah, 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 blah. It's just like how Asian parents are. So I don't know. Me and Andre like both relate to this. We're like, like weird. I feel like that's why me and Andre are like, we've been friends for like, I feel like literally a decade at this point, because we just like both have the same like fucking traumas. I don't know. But speaking of Andre, I really hope that Andre gets into a relationship this summer. I'm putting it out into the universe. We all have to pray for him, because I'm here for boot up Andre. I really want to see it, because I've seen it. I've seen single Andre thrives, but I haven't ever really seen like really boot up Andre, and I would really like to know what it's like. Anyways, random comment. Another thing I saw on TikTok is, I actually reposted on my spam account. If you're not following it already, then make sure you're following it. It's not Adeline. Not Adeline on Instagram. But I just post the most random shit on there. I'm also like, do I start posting on Snapchat now? Because I feel like Snapchat's having like a wave of new people, and everyone's just like back on it now. Like I feel like everybody's posting on it now. And I posted something and I was like, do you guys actually use Snapchat now? And people are like, yes. And I'm like, fuck. I stopped using Snapchat about like a year or two ago, and I'm like, should I start posting on it now? I don't know. But let me know. Do you use Snapchat still? I don't even use Be Real that much anymore. I feel like it's such a big thing, and like now nobody really uses it. But this thing that I saw that I reposted on my spam account is this girl, and she was talking about the let them theory. And what she means by let them theory is, for example, say all of your friends are going to go out to dinner together and they're just going to not invite you. Let them. Or say you're doing long distance with your partner and you feel like they're going to cheat on you. Let them. Or you want to convince your friend to stop dating this man because he's taking advantage of her and she doesn't see it, but she's going to do it anyway. Let them. Because I think at the end of the day, and something that I've worked on a lot recently, especially this year, is controlling people. I feel like, I mean, I wouldn't say I'm like a controlling person, but I feel like I love I don't love a lot of people, but when I do love, I love very deeply. And when I see someone that I love, like for example, a friend who maybe like I feel like has a boyfriend that is like mistreating her or abusing her or taking advantage of her, I have a lot of passion. And I'm like, I tell her the way that I think and I tell her the way that it is. And a lot of the times it can ruin your relationship with friends, which sucks because I feel like this happens to girls, especially all the time, especially when you just really love them and you want to see them happy and you want to see them at their best and you see them and with this person and they're not their best self and you're like, bitch, you could do so much fucking better. Not even good. Like even it's always the fucking short men. Like what is it? Like it's the ugliest. I literally can't fucking deal. But it's like the ugliest fucking men and they're so obsessed. But like, you know, I feel like so many girls can relate to this and like so many people that I've talked about this to. And I'm like, my friend is literally dating the shittiest guy in the entire fucking world. And I told her and she got mad at me for saying that. But it's such a thing. Like, I feel like, especially in female friendships, a lot of the times I feel like you can feel controlling and you feel like, how can you not see what's right in front of you? This guy is like treating you like shit. You're getting nothing out of this relationship. Like, you want to say this so bad. But at the end of the day, you have to just let them. And you have to just let them experience, because maybe you have that experience or maybe you see it clearly, but maybe they don't. And they're not going to learn by you just telling them. They're going to learn by going through their own experiences, and they're going to learn by getting their heart broken, and they're going to learn that way. They're not going to learn from you telling them. So I think I've just come to terms with, you know, my friends, and like maybe sometimes I don't like their boyfriends. I'm like, I'm just going to fucking let them. I'm just going to fucking let them. And they can, I'm not dating them. I'm not dating that shitty man. I'm just going to fucking let them, and they can learn from their mistakes, or maybe they don't. And maybe I set boundaries, and maybe we don't spend a lot of time together, because sometimes I get really passionate about it and I really want to see them happy, and they just need to do what they got to do. They need to go through that phase of their life. You need to let them. I think another example would be, you know, your friend is saying, oh, I want to start working out. And like, I feel so fat and I don't know what to do. And you're like, oh my God, okay, so come with me to Pilates, come with me to this, come with me to that. And they never commit. And you're like, bitch, you literally told me that you want to fucking like work out. Like, what the fuck is wrong with you? A lot of times you just have to let them, because I think at the end of the day, people are going to do what they want to do. And if you take things personally, like, I feel like this is something that I really struggled with and that I've really like tried to work on, especially this year, is if people don't want to do something, don't force them to do it, because it can drive a wedge between you two. And a lot of the times it's really just not that deep. If they don't want to work, if they say, oh, Adeline, like, I really want to start working out, like, blah, 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 blah. Sometimes they just want to get things off of their chest, and maybe they don't actually fucking mean it. Maybe they don't actually fucking want to work out. And you being like, really, like, work out with me, like, do it. And then when they don't show up, be like, girl, what the fuck? Like, you didn't, like, I literally invite you and you don't show up and blah, 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 blah. Just fucking let them. They're on their own journey. And I feel like, you know, I didn't realize at the time, but I don't know. A lot of the times I feel like you just have to let them. And there's some times where I feel like I have to tell them, or I have to prevent them from dating the worst man possible, or I have to prevent them from, you know, I have to help them. But it's just me at the end of the day just being controlling. And I put so much energy towards trying to help them and trying to control them and trying to, well, in my eyes, I think that I'm trying to help them, but I feel like a lot of the times it can come off as controlling. And even with a partner, when you're doing long distance relationships and you're like, oh my God, like, what if they cheat on me? Like, what do I have to do so they don't cheat on me? And like, you have all this anxiety about like controlling other people and controlling what they do. But at the end of the day, you're never going to be able to control anyone. And I honestly feel like controlling is very unattractive. And being like, oh, like, are you gonna cheat on me? Like, I saw your location at here. Like, what were you doing here? Like, are you trying to cheat on me? To me, that comes off as very insecure and very unattractive. All of this energy that you put towards worrying and trying to control them and trying to be like, oh my God, like, what if they, like, you know, all this energy towards, you know, this anxiety, you could just be putting towards yourself and being more comfortable with yourself and really just realizing that you cannot and you will never be able to control other people. You cannot control what they eat in a day. You cannot control if they work out. You cannot control if they cheat on you. You cannot control their thoughts. You cannot control this. You cannot control that. You can't control people ever. You can be friends with them and you could be in relationships with them and you can talk to them and you can be silly like them. And like, I feel like when you hang out with people, you become similar, but at the end of the day, you can never control other people. And I feel like I used to get a lot of anxiety with, you know, being like, how does my friend not see this? How does my, you know, partner not see this? How does this, like, blah, blah, blah. Like, this is how I see it. How can they not see it like the way that I do? They will never be able to see things 100% the way that you do because you've gone through your experiences and they've gone through their experiences, and maybe you have insecurities within things and maybe they don't, or maybe they have insecurities with things and maybe they don't, or maybe you have experience with some things and they don't, or they have experience with things and they don't. You'll never be able to 100% control people. And I feel like I used to get so much anxiety with like, oh, they can't see the way that I do. Why can't they see the way that I do? It's just not the way that the world works. So I feel like I've really come to peace with just letting that shit go. And I honestly feel so much more at peace. I feel so much better since I started doing that and just being like, you know what? Your boyfriend's kind of shitty, but I'm just going to let you be. Or, you know what? Maybe you'll cheat on me, but I'm just going to let you be. And I'm going to find out eventually. Or maybe Blue's gonna fucking eat my food off the fucking nightstand, but I'm just gonna let her and she's gonna learn her lesson because I'm gonna yell at her. You know, I don't know. I feel like I'm so much more at peace now that I'm not feeling like I have to control other people. And I used to feel responsible for being like, oh my God, my friend is struggling or someone is struggling. I felt like I was responsible for helping them. But you're not really responsible for anyone. So I don't know. Long story short, at the end of the day, I have started doing the let them theory. And I feel so much pressure lifted off of my chest. There's so much less tension between me and my friends. There's so much less tension between me and my partner and me and my family. And I just let them. And I don't know what you have to do with your life, because we all have that. We all have people in our lives that we're like, what the fuck are you fucking doing, bitch? I don't know what it is for you, but just letting them do it, letting them let them, I promise you'll feel like a whole weight lifted off of your shoulder. And I feel like I'm able to focus on myself more, and I'm able to live my life, and there's so much less tension, and I don't feel as controlling, because people would literally say that. They'd be like, I feel like you're so controlling. And I'm like, you just don't see the way that I see it. Like, you're so fucking like hypnotized or whatever. You don't see. But at the end of the day, you have to let people live their own life and live their own experiences and make their own mistakes, because you can't ever tell people to don't cheat on me, because if they're insecure and they're going to cheat, they're going to cheat. You can't tell someone don't date this person, because if they're really digmatized or they're really fucking like this person, I don't know why, then they're going to like this person. And a lot of the times, girlfriends will choose their shitty boyfriends over their girlfriends that love them. But that's just the way it is. And a lot of the times, you know, they'll come back, but it's just something that you have to go through and something that you just have to really experience. I don't know. You can't just tell them. They have to experience it. Another thing that I want to add is I also feel like there is a very good balance between spending time with your partner versus spending time apart from your partner. Because in every relationship that I've ever been in, and at least from what I've seen with my parents, like when you spend too much time together, with anyone, with Andre, with Blue, with fucking my sister, with my parents, with my partners, with anyone, with my girlfriends. If you spend way too much fucking time together, they start to kind of fucking piss you off. You know what I mean? Like, they kind of start to fucking piss you off. So I feel like there's a good balance between spending time with your partner versus spending time apart. And like, maybe I'm taking it to an extreme by moving it to Paris, but I think that there is a good balance between it, because when I spend too much time with someone, girl, have you ever heard about the vacation theory? Going on vacation with a partner is like the ultimate test to see if you can really stand someone because you can't leave them. You're in a hotel together. You're being thrown with like new obstacles, and like maybe your taxi is like not coming, or nobody's calling, or maybe there's a language barrier, or some shit just like pops up. You really can tell if someone is really meant for you if you go on vacation together. That's why couples always find on vacation. But I feel like when I spend time away from my partner, I almost appreciate them more. And of course, I'm taking it to an extreme by literally moving to Paris. But even, for example, like, I felt like when I was spending like every single day with my partner, they low-key kind of start to piss me off. And like, there were things about them and I'd be like, you're kind of fucking annoying. But when I spend time away and I really focus on myself and I go through life and I'm able to tell them my experience, and I don't know, like, I feel like when you spend too much time together, you go to the dinner table at the end of the day, and what the fuck do you say to each other? You know what I mean? There's this trend on TikTok, and it was like me and my bestie, when we spend like 24/7 together, we have nothing to talk about. It's like, shut the fuck up and eat your fucking food. You know what I mean? And I feel like there is a good balance between spending time apart and being able to go to the dinner table together and talk about your day and be like, oh my God, today I went to a cafe and I read my book, and oh my God, I wore this like workout set, and apparently in Paris, nobody wears fucking workout sets out, and people were giving me weird looks, and I was like, why are people giving me weird looks? I'm just wearing a workout set. It's so normal. I go to the cafe and my waiter goes, oh, hello, fitness woman. And I'm like, what the fuck? Like, this is so fucking weird. And then I ask people at the end of the day, I Google it, and it is not normal to wear workout sets in Paris. And it's just like a funny moment. You guys laugh together. Whereas I feel like if you spend the entire day with your partner, or you're the entire day with someone, it's like you can't have those silly little moments together and like talk about it at the end of the day and really connect at the end of the day. And I feel like something, at least for me, that is very attractive is independence and, you know, spending time apart. And it's very attractive to me to see someone like thrive and really thrive in work, and even just like thrive in Paris, or really thrive in like being happy and hearing their experience and seeing them glow and talk about the things that they love and talk about the things that they've accomplished. And maybe it wasn't with you, maybe it was like them just accomplishing, like, I don't know, they got a really good test grade at a fucking like paper, or they got a promotion at their work, or whatever, something that you guys spent apart that you guys can talk about together. I don't know. I think that there's a really good balance between spending time apart and spending time together. And I've definitely had relationships where I've spent too much time with them, and I'm like, honestly, like, I feel like you like, we spend so much time together, it's like you're not really working, you have no ambitions, you have no goals, like, it's not really very attractive to me. And when you are able to spend time apart and you're comfortable with yourself and you're comfortable with your partner and you're able to thrive in your work, or you're able to thrive with your friends, or thrive in just honestly just existing and being happy, I think that's really attractive. But I don't know. That, I guess, was my 2 cents on long distance relationships. Let me know. Do you agree or do you disagree on anything? Because I've done long distance relationships, and I've like been there. I've done that. I'm doing it right now. Do you have any advice too? Like, is there anything else that you guys would do in long distance relationships that you feel like makes it work? Let me know in the comments down below if you're watching on YouTube. But I hope you guys enjoyed today's episode of Girl Talk. It was great chatting with you. Blue is just making herself so fucking comfortable on my new pillows. I hope that they don't start filling up. because this is like the type of fabric that, you know, in the Lululemon leggings, how they start to like pill. I hope it doesn't happen to these pillows. They're so fucking expensive. But let me know. Have you guys ever been in a long distance relationship? Could you do it? Do you not believe in it? What do you think? Let me know in the comments if you're watching on YouTube. If you're listening on Spotify or Apple Music, make sure to rate this podcast 5 stars. It means a lot to me and it helps me out a lot. But if you're watching on YouTube, let me know in the comments below. Give me a thumbs up. Make sure you're subscribed to this channel. But I love you guys. I'm always here if you need to talk. I'm here every Wednesday on Girl Talk. But I'm always here if you guys need to talk. Same place, same time. I love you guys. I'm going to go to bed. It's like midnight right now. But I love you, and I'll talk to you later. Bye. Did you like that episode? I really hope that you did. If you haven't already, then make sure to watch last week's episode or the week after. Just click on the links, whatever it is. And I hope that you guys enjoyed. Also, be sure to subscribe because it helps me a lot. But I love you, and I hope you have an amazing rest of your day. Bye.
Feel it rush, sipping on Hawaiian punch. Squeeze the sides, feel it rush, sipping on Hawaiian punch. Know you like all this gush? Oh no, you can't get enough. Sipping on Hawaiian